Welcome to the first ever podcast edition of the Kangaroo Coach's Corner, brought to you by Mike's Westside Rental for the End Zone on Chuck FM Radio, 88.5 and 102.5 FM. Weatherford Kangaroos taking on Granbury in game number 1 of 2018. This coming Friday night, you can hear all the live coverage on 88.5 or 102.5 FM. But after this message from Mike's Westside Rental, we'll hear from Billy Mathis, the head coach of the Weatherford Kangaroos.
We all know Mike's Westside Rental is the place to go for everything from digging to dancing. But don't let the name fool you. Mike's Westside Rental in Weatherford is pleased to announce that we are now an authorized full sales and service dealer for Echo power equipment and Skag zero-turn mowers. That's right, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws are all for sale at Mike's Westside Rental. Now you can own the best yard equipment on the market with the industry's best 5-year consumer warranty. And while you're at it, mow your lawn with the best zero-turn mowers available, Skag mowers. Skag is the number one choice of professional landscapers, but they also build a great line of homeowner zero-turns as well. For lot sizes from 1 to 100 acres. Be sure to check us out online at mikesrental.com and like us on Facebook for deals and giveaways. Or just come in and see us at 449 Southwest Rick Williamson Highway. That's Mike's Westside Rental.
We are back with head football coach Billy Mathis of Weatherford High School. It's another season. It's a fresh start. And, Coach, thank you again for taking your time to do this every week. It's a pleasure to get to talk football with you every week.
Absolutely. I'm excited about it.
You ought to be excited after seeing the scrimmage on Friday night over there at Chisholm Trail. I'm excited, and I was already excited. A couple of things about that I want to ask you about. First of all, on offense, the ability to stretch the field. It changes everything, doesn't it?
It does. It does change everything. You know, you came and watched the game last year. You know, everybody, you know, they'd man us up, and, you know, they were playing with 8 or 9 guys in the box a lot, you know, in which, you know, still a credit to our guys. We still rushed for over 300 yards a game, facing an 8-9 man box every time. But, you know, being able to stretch the field vertically now, you know, if they do that, we ought to be able to hit them over the top, you know, and really open up the passing game. You know, being able to stretch the field vertically will make them have to spread their defense out, which opens up the run game. So, yes, absolutely. Stretching the field, you know, it makes a team so much more versatile, right? So, you know, we're able to run the ball more effectively and, you know, essentially pass the ball more effectively.
It feels like you have more speed on the outside, at least from the observation of Friday night. You've got more speed. Overall,
yes, sir, we sure do. We have some more speed, you know. Young guy caught a ball and went 70 yards the other night, you know, sophomore Cisco Caston. You know, we expect to see a lot of good things out of him. You know, Aeneas Gray back there and the Wheelers, you know, both the Jordan and Jaden Wheeler being over there, you know, playing receiver and running back for us. You know, we're going to do a lot of really good things. You know, kid that didn't play Friday, Peyton Hudson, had a little bit of we just held him out. But he's going to be unbelievable. Jake Spooner, I could go on and on. You know, Jake Spooner, another senior. Wes Hanson, you know, those guys have done such a great job, you know, getting in there and going. And then, you know, the junior Ray Hung, he's dynamite. You saw that catch he made out there.
Yeah.
Acrobatic. You know, that's what he does. Boy, that boy's got great ball control, great body control, you know, whether it's in the air. And if King can get it close to him, 99% of the time he's catching it.
Well, speaking of Ken, he had an unusual summer. He traveled the country with these quarterback camps and picked up some D1 offers on the way, too. I've never seen a guy spend that much time and travel around the country the way. How do you think that helps him in his development for the Kangaroos?
Well, I'll say this: he was traveling a lot, and they did a great job of going to those camps, but being back here in Weatherford also. I mean, they would fly in, you know, Tuesday afternoons and drive straight to our 7-on-7 games, and, you know, work out Wednesday, Thursday, then they might go off again. So that's just the way Ken is. Ken, he doesn't take a day off. And I tell him all the time, dude, take a Sunday off, relax. But, he's a football junkie. He loves it. And he goes to the camps, and he's a competitor, and he loves going, and, that's what he does. And he did a great job at the camp, and he picked up some Division I offers, which is amazing, and more to come. A lot of the guys, a lot of the bigger Big 12 SEC schools, called and said, hey, we're going to wait till the season starts. We're going to be there game 1 and game 2 to check you out and see what you're made of.
It's unusual to have a team that had the win-loss record you had last year to have this much buzz around it going into this second year of your tenure. And how do you manage that with your kids? Because, with 16, 17-year-old kids, sometimes things can get out of whack in their minds, too. How do you manage that?
They do, but our kids have done a great job of, we talk about it all the time, just focusing on us as a team. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Focus on us, and our motto is not what we do, but how we do it, right? And we talk about it all the time. We've got to practice like champions. We've got to take care of our bodies like champions. We've got to sleep like champions. We've got to lift weights like champions. And, and they put in a lot of work this offseason and this summer. And, the scrimmage Friday night, we went out there and, I felt like we dominated Chisholm Trail on all sides of the balls. And there was a little proof in the pudding of, guys, it's paying off. All that hard work, we're so much stronger and faster this year, compared to last year. The kids see it, and boy, you want to talk about a good Monday practice we had this morning? They're hungry. They were hungry. They were so excited after Friday, of seeing where they are to where they can get to. And like, Coach, we're excited.
Love it.
Monday, we were rolling this morning. It was great.
Billy Mathis, head football coach at Weatherford High School here. We're brought to you by Mike's Westside Rental. We want to thank them. Let's talk about defense. I was very impressed with our linebacker core the other night. They were flying to the ball on defense.
Yeah, Ethan Herron and, we've moved Thane Garnett back there to linebacker. Those two guys, sitting there in the middle. And then you have Lucas Loran out there as outside linebacker, Carlos Amaro, Blaine Shaw. Those guys, boy, they did a great job. They did, and I think just having that year under their belt, they're more comfortable at our defensive scheme of what we do. So, they don't feel like they're pressing as much as they did last year to always be perfect. They understand, they're reading their keys better, and they're just playing more relaxed, which when you can play relaxed and play fast, good things happen. And they were flying around, and it was a quick whistle on the quarterback there in the scrimmage, or there might have been a couple of train wrecks on their quarterback, and that our linebacker just slowed on up and tapped him, which is a good deal, So, but they put in a lot of work. They had a great spring. Coach Zimmer coaches the linebackers, and boy, they spend a lot of time working on those small things so they can get in there and play fast and understand what we're doing.
What are you most worried about going into the season?
Oh, you always worry about, I worry about everything. Most worried. We're not as big as a lot of the teams, overall. In the same way, depth wise, you always worry about your depth if one of your starters were to get hurt.
Yeah.
Our guys who are backups are, have done a great job and are getting in there. You're kind of thin at times at certain positions, right? So that's what you worry about. You just worry about the health of the kids, and if something were to happen, who's going to step up,
right?
So, our D line's not very big. You can go out there and see that in a scrimmage, but I tell you what, those guys, they'll fight you, and their fight is great. So, overall, you just worry about the health of your team more than anything.
Billy Mathis from Weatherford High School. Let's talk about the Granbury Pirates, the opponent number 1 Friday night at Kangaroo Stadium. About 500 last year, if I recall. The 2 or 3 previous years to that, they really struggled. What do you see from Granbury on film so far?
Well, we got their scrimmage, and that's about all we got. And you get a little bit out of scrimmage. They're a spread team. They throw the ball well. their D-line and, you know, their defense is solid. You know, they run the ball well. They cover well. Offensively, they do some things that are tough. You know, they get rid of the ball quick. You know, quarterback quick passing game. You know, they line up, they pull guards and tackles, and you know they have a good solid run game. You know, I told our kids before. You know, Coach Cheesy over at Granbury called us. He scheduled us. He wanted to play us. So you know, we're excited that they're coming here this week. My kids are excited. You know, they're going to be a good opponent. You know, I'm hoping we go out and jump on them fast and, you know, just keep rolling.
When you have to play teams from far west Texas and deep in the Metroplex, I like having a team like Granbury that some of these kids might know some of these Granbury kids. It's close, you know, that could end up being a rivalry for you over the years.
Absolutely. They know a lot of them. Yeah. You know, those kids, you know, one of our freshman coaches left. Coach John Reed left, and now he's over there coaching their varsity linebackers. So, you know, there's some familiar there. So it's going to be I hope it's a rivalry that starts up for sure.
Coach Billy Mathis, the head football coach at Weatherford High School, looking forward to the season. I know you're not going to put a number on a prediction. That coaches never do that. But when people ask you, what do you expect from this team? What will be a successful season for Weatherford? What do you say?
You know, we go into every football game expecting to win. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in the kids' mind, no doubt in my coach's mind. We go into every game expecting to win the football game, you know. But, you know, a successful season overall, you know, last year we were 0-10, but I still felt that we had a successful season. I saw those kids grow a lot. I saw those kids battle every week. You know, it's not all about the wins and losses. It's about, you know, these guys building a relationship and learning how to work, learning how to handle adversity. You know, when they do leave this football program, when this season's over, you know, I know in the past, you know, the kids that come back, rarely do we speak about, you know, the actual games. It's all with the other stuff that we always talk about. So, you know, a successful season to me is, you know, kids enjoying the season, having fun, learning, you know, but ultimately you want to go, you know, win every single game. You're going to win a district championship and ultimately win a state championship.
Coach Billy Mathis, love the enthusiasm. Look forward to the season. Thanks again for doing this every week. We'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, Kangaroo Coach's Corner brought to you by Mike's West Side Rental. Thank you again to head coach Billy Mathis of the Weatherford Kangaroos. Join us on Friday night as we feature live coverage of the Kangaroos and the Granbury Pirates on 102.5 FM and 88.5 FM. In the halftime show, we're going to have an interesting interview with Greg Tepper. He is the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football magazine.